Hi friends, it's Aubrey. Today I am taking you to Dollar Tree and we are going to plan out 4 dinners and a dessert for my family of 3. Let's see if we can stay under our $25 budget. Let's head into Dollar Tree. I did go to a different Dollar Tree than the one I've done previously when I've made these videos. If you haven't seen any of my past Dollar Tree videos, I'll go ahead and have them linked down below, and I'll have a little card up here for you guys if you want to check those out after this one. And it was interesting going to this other Dollar Tree. They had a lot of the same stuff, but then since it was a little bit bigger, they had a few more frozen and shelf stable items that I integrated into this meal plan for my family. And I'm really excited to show you guys what I found there and what we're going to cook with everything. And this is what my cart looks like. So let's talk about how much I spent and then what we're going to do with what we bought. Here is what I picked up at Dollar Tree. It should be enough to make 4 dinners for my family of 3 and then also a dessert. So let me kind of show you what I'm thinking and what we got. We got some ravioli. We're going to use this with some of the sausage and the pasta and also the mozzarella cheese and make that into a delicious pasta dish. We are also going to have some gravy and potatoes with some meatballs and then some garlic bread and broccoli on the side. We are also going to have some chili cheese fries. We have chili, some cheddar cheese down there. We have some fries over there, and I was going to add in some peppers for some veggies. And then the last one is my husband's breakfast hash, but honestly, you can eat it any time of the day. So we're going to use some of this sausage, the eggs, and the potatoes. I didn't buy hot sauce because they didn't have the kind of hot sauce my husband prefers, so we're just going to use the hot sauce we have at home. And then we're going to have a peanut butter and chocolate cookie for the dessert. The total for 4 dinners and 1 dessert that we got for our family of 3 at Dollar Tree was $22.50. And I'm super excited to see how everything comes together and tastes. So let's get to cooking. For tonight's dinner, we are going to have meatballs with gravy over some mashed potatoes and then broccoli and Texas toast on the side. Normally I get the 6-sliced box, but they didn't have it at my Dollar Tree, but definitely look out for that. I'll probably just split a piece of the bread with the toddler. And so we're gonna get all of this put together and let me show you what we're doing. This dinner comes together in about 10 minutes because everything is either pre-cooked or the ingredients just don't take very long to cook and come together. So first I put the meatballs into a microwave safe bowl and put them in the microwave for about a minute. And once those were warmed through, I did take them out and cut them into smaller pieces and put them back in for another minute or so, just until they were fully warm. I also got my broccoli going on the stove. I had some water on high and put the broccoli in there, and we had about half a bag left, so we're able to use that for another dinner this week. For the gravy and the potatoes, I just followed the package instructions, and I know that the potatoes do call for some milk and butter. You can buy shelf-stable milk at the Dollar Tree, so you could definitely pick that up if you want to follow the recipe as written. I already had a ton of milk and I didn't want any to go to waste, so I didn't buy any milk while I was at the Dollar Tree. And the butter, normally I include salt, pepper, and some sort of cooking fat, whether that's oil and or butter, whenever I do these budget challenges. So the butter, I just included it here. And you can also buy margarine at the Dollar Tree, at least you can at mine, so you could use that as a replacement if you can only shop at the Dollar Tree. I decided to try and make this meal as quickly as possible, so I cooked everything on the stove at one time. I don't recommend doing that. It was quite a bit to stir and do all at the same time. So if you want to cook it this way, definitely have a kitchen helper. Unfortunately, my toddler is a little too young to be helping me at the stove. Once the water and butter were boiling on the stove, I added in my potato flakes and the milk and stirred this until it was warmed through and thick. And then while I was waiting for the gravy to finish up, I threw my garlic bread into the air fryer for just a few minutes so that way it would get nice and crispy. And once the gravy was all ready to go, I took my meatballs that were chopped up and put them directly into the gravy and gave this a really good stir and let it just warm through for a few minutes just to make sure that the meatballs were completely warmed and so that the gravy could get all over the meatballs. I plated this up with the broccoli that I added a little bit of salt and pepper and butter to. And honestly, this is a really good meal. I'm not a huge fan of instant mashed potatoes. I think this would be better with regular homemade potatoes, but if you like instant mashed potatoes or you're in a pinch, this is a great dinner. The next dinner that we had was the breakfast hash, and I decided to cook all of my pork sausage at one time just to save myself a little bit of time for tomorrow night's dinner. So I got my pan and had the pork sausage all thawed, put it in there, and I used my favorite meat masher tool. If you don't have one of these and you cook a lot of ground meat, I highly recommend this one. I'll have it linked down below for you guys. While my sausage was finishing browning, I took my potatoes and put them into my air fryer. And our air fryer cooks best if you have like one layer of things. So I didn't put all of the fries in here that we would need to feed both my husband, daughter, and I. So I'm just focusing on my husband's first, and then I was going to make mine afterwards. So I put those into the air fryer for about 6 minutes total. I put them in for 3 minutes at 400 and then shook them and then put them in for another 3 minutes. And once those were cooked through enough, I went ahead and put them directly into my pan. I didn't remove any of the grease from the sausage because that will help flavor and cook the potatoes. We definitely prefer to make this with hash browns just because they break up way easier than French fries do. So if your Dollar Tree has tater tots or hash browns, I highly recommend getting those instead of the fries just to make this part easier. And once you have the French fries all mashed up into smaller pieces and they seem to be cooked through, you'll go ahead and add a little bit of butter if needed to your pan and then add in 2 eggs per person. Like I said, I'm just making this for my husband and I'll make mine later. And so we'll let that cook, and we like to get the egg all over the meat and the potatoes. And then we just season it with some salt and pepper and dish it up. You can definitely add other seasonings here if you want to add a little bit of garlic powder or onion powder, or if you want to add some additional veggies, you could add some peppers, really whatever you like. And then you can top it with cheese, or what my husband likes to do is just top it with some of his favorite hot sauce and then eat it as is. And this is a really fast and delicious dinner or breakfast for you. So for tonight's dinner, we are going to have a ravioli bake. My mom called this Lazy Mom's Lasagna, and I got all of the ingredients from Dollar Tree. So let me show you what we have and how we're gonna put it together. We have our sauce, ravioli, sausage, and mozzarella cheese. I'm gonna grate this, and we're going to just kind of layer the ravioli, the sausage, cheese, and the sauce. And then on the side, if you have broccoli left over from the other meal, you can go ahead and use the rest of that for a veggie side. And then we have 2 pieces of the garlic bread left. So we're gonna put that in the air fryer. We'll boil this on the stove and bake this in the oven. So let's get cooking. I first sprayed my 8x8 cooking dish with a little bit of cooking spray just to ensure that it wasn't going to stick. Then I added in a little bit of the sauce, topped that with 6 of the raviolis, which was about half of the package. And then I added another layer of sauce with some cheese and half of the sausage that was left over from the breakfast hash recipe. And then I added my other 6 ravioli on top of that and then added the meat and the rest of the mozzarella cheese. And I covered this with some aluminum foil, and this needs to bake in an oven that's preheated to 350 degrees for about 35 minutes or so. You can do 30 to 40 depending on your oven, and then I baked it for an additional 5 minutes uncovered. I love how easy this recipe is, and it's not as good as lasagna, but when you're in a pinch, this one comes together way quicker and with less ingredients. And for the sides, I decided to heat up the remaining two pieces of garlic bread in my air fryer for just a few minutes. And then I used the rest of my broccoli and got that boiling in some water. And then when it was done cooking, added some butter and salt and pepper. Here is the completed plate. This was really good. I love making this for my family, especially because it is easy. It does take a little bit of time to bake, but the prep work is very minimal. For dinner tonight, we are going to have chili cheese fries. I still had some potatoes left in the bag from the breakfast hash, but since I bought 2 bags of potatoes or french fries, you can definitely use a whole bag if you want to. We're just gonna make a little bit smaller of a dish. And we also have some peppers that we'll stir fry up and then put into the chili. We have some cheese that we'll grate and put on top. And then here is the chili. So first I'm gonna cook these french fries in our air fryer for 10 minutes and we'll see what they're looking like and add additional time if needed. I'm just gonna make 1 serving for right now. So we're gonna put those in the air fryer at 400 and we'll do about 10 minutes. I have my peppers cooking in a little bit of oil and there's also onions in this mix. And then back here, I have my chili heating up. I'm just making a single serving, but you have plenty to make more, probably even than 3 servings of this. I added some salt to my french fries and then I have the peppers and onions ready and the chili is heated up. So let's go ahead and dish this all together. First, I'm gonna add the peppers and onions. Just gonna add them on top of the fries. Then I'm gonna add our chili. And I still have about 2/3 of a can left, so I have plenty to make other servings. And then we're gonna top it with about 1/3 of the cheese block. And since the peppers, fries, and chili are all very hot, cheese should melt up nicely. And there you go. There is some chili cheese fries that you can make with things from the Dollar Tree. And yes, this is probably not the healthiest dinner, but it is really filling and delicious. While I was at Dollar Tree, I saw a package for some peanut butter cookies, and it was really minimal ingredients, just a little bit of water and oil that needed to get added. And so I decided to make some peanut butter cookies with Hershey Kisses on top. And what I didn't think about was that I could have just bought peanut butter and sugar and used some of my eggs to make homemade peanut butter cookies, which would have been so much better. But these packaged ones are actually really good and they're great if you're in a pinch or on a tight budget. I followed the package instructions when mixing these, and then I balled them into cookie dough balls and decided to score the top with a fork. And while those were baking in the oven, I got all of my Hershey Kisses unpackaged, so that way when the cookies came out, I could quickly put them on top, so that way a little bit of the chocolate melts so that the Hershey Kiss stays on top when you eat it. We had friends over to play board games the evening that I made these cookies, so we shared with them, and everybody loved these. They were so good. So if you see this cookie mix package, definitely pick it up and try it for yourself. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope you did enjoy, and I hope this gave you some ideas of things that you can get at the Dollar Tree to feed your family on a tight budget. If you liked this video, please give it a like and hit that subscribe button. I love doing budget challenge videos and we'll be doing some more in the future, so you definitely won't want to miss those. And I hope you have the best rest of your day. Bye!